Hello, ladies and gentlemen, my name's StepsBasic, and welcome back to my community show. Air is lovely. Anyway, today, first of all, I want to start off with a few announcements and a correction to something I said in one of my videos before. I'm like, oh yeah, I figured out my proper schedule for my Spooktober lineup. I'm going to do this game and this game on the same day and this game and this. No. See, what I'm going to do, I'm going to do Little Nightmares and Outlast 2, and then I'm going to do Deadlight and Until Dawn. Until I beat one of those games. Excuse me. Anyway, so that's going to be my lineup from now until the end of Doohickey. Spooktober, which will be on the 31st, yay, and hopefully, well, I mean, not hopefully, and if I beat any of the games, I will replace them with another horror game, which I have a plethora of, so don't worry, I'm not going to run out at any moment. But anyway, all that aside, let's get into today's show. Today's show is gonna be StepsBasic's top 5 horror game monsters. I'm terrible at this whole introduction thing. Anyway, so today, like I just said, we're going to be talking about horror game monsters and my top 5 favorites. Now, I know, everybody does top 5, top 10 lists and all that stuff, and yeah, I know, I'm kind of just glomming on like I always do. But, you know, it's Spooktober, and I needed to come up with a good topic for a community show, and so, you know, last week was the pros and cons, the good tropes, the bad tropes. This week's going to be top 5 horror monsters. Next week might be top 5 games. Who knows? Anyway, that's not important. What's important today is what we're talking about. I'm going to be doing this in descending order, from 5 being my not as good favorite, and 1 being my all-time all-time favorite monster in horror games. So, number 5, zombies. Zombies, walkers, infected, whatever you want to call them. They're essentially the cannon fodder of zombie games. They are the mealy little zombies. I like them because they're stylistically awesome. They are The Walking Dead, not the show, obviously, because that's the show, not, you know what I mean. Anyway, I like them because not only are they cannon fodder, because you're going to run into a lot of them if you're playing a zombie game, they're going to be the most common enemy, but they mean something a bit deeper to me. You know, I've always been a big fan of zombies, and zombies in pop culture, zombies in history, zombies in movies, stories, games, anywhere. I love them. I love the story, not the zombies, because that's gross. It's called necrophilia, and it's bad for you. Don't do it. But anyway, I like them because they imply mankind's finite life. They are literally staring your own death in the face and trying to defeat it, and you can't. I know, that was a George Romero thing. That was one of his Of the Dead movies. You know, he takes a social look at zombies and whatnot from social issues from the perspective of a zombie story, and that's really awesome. I like that, and that's why I like zombies, because you got mankind's own mortality. You've got how mankind functions in tragedies and in apocalyptic scenarios and stuff, and it's really cool and really in depth. Number 4, zombie variants. Now I know that's weird because I just covered zombies, but zombie variants are different. Not the walkers, the infected, and whatnot. Zombie variants are versions of zombies that are more powerful, stronger, and often have a special ability. Now, Resident Evil was good for zombie variants, and you'll get lickers, you'll get all sorts of crazy stuff. And boomers from, I mean, if you're playing like 7 Days to Die, you're playing basically any zombie game, you'll find an upgraded version of a zombie, like the boomer, who will cause a huge explosion and probably wreck your day, because they're jerks like that. Like, I like these because they're a step up from zombies, but they have a little bit of imagination thrown into them. Like, lickers are the guys crawling on the walls with the really long tongues, and those things are creepy. Zombie dogs. Oh my god. I have a personal bone to pick with zombie dogs, but they add to a story, to a zombie game, a horror game, they add a significant level of challenge to it. And you've got your cannon fodder, and then you got your I guess you'd say your special forces, and those guys are the jerks. They're the really good at killing you type of guys. 3. The hulking, slow-moving, always menacing, horrifying behemoths of men. Like, Silent Hill had Pyramid Head. Friggin' Outlast had Chris Walker. The Evil Within had the Chainsaw Guy. They're just ever-present. They're slow-moving, powerful monsters that just never stop, and that's one thing I love about them. That's why I love them as a horror monster, because they incorporate both styles of horror. At one point you have the oh my god, I gotta run away type of horror, where you got this huge monster walking after you really slowly, like, I got my chainsaw, I'm gonna eat you, nom 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 nom. Or, you got your chains, shink, 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 just the slow psychological burn on your mind, like, oh, I know he's there, I hear his chains, shink, shink, shink. Or, you're just sitting there, and you're like, oh dear God, where is he? And that's one thing I like. And to be perfectly honest, I kind of like them a little bit, because if I were to be a horror movie zombie, if I were to be a horror game creature, that's more than likely what I would be, because I am a big guy. I'm like 6'2", I weigh 260 pounds on a good day. But that's more than likely what I would be. And that's actually kind of the thing I always like to role play, is a big hulking behemoth fella. Barbarians. I love barbarians. Dwarves. They're not big, but they are pretty menacing. And that's the sort of thing. That's why I kind of like that character. It's like so much, because they are just psychologically terrifying. They're horror monsters, just relentless. And in some cases you can kill them. In other cases you can't. You just gotta figure out which is which. Number 2, xenomorphs. I know technically they're horror movies, but Alien Isolation really moved them up on my list of game monsters. They put them almost near the top, because xenomorphs, indestructible, always present, instant death if you get caught, and the freaking, you throw in like the shadow play on the walls and stuff, adds another psychological level to them, and you just can't. Like I said, they're indestructible. You can't kill them. You can scare them off and then try to hide, but they're going to come back. It's like with the hulking behemoths that I just talked about. In some cases you can kill them and it's fine, and it's over and done with. You don't have to worry about them ever again. In Alien Isolation, the alien is always there. You can't run. You better watch those vents. You fire a gun, you're probably going to die. And that adds just another layer of difficulty on top of the layer of psychological horror, on top of the layer of, oh my God, run away before it kills me type of layer. And that was even better too. You can't run. If they see you, you're gone. If you don't have fire on you in any way, you're gone. Game over, man. Game over. Another pay my respects, Bill Pullman. Anyway, but that's why they take the second place in my list of top 5 horror monsters. Now, number 1. You may be thinking I'm thinking about some ghastly ghoul or something horrifying, like disfigured, I eat you, like the plant things from Resident Evil, or the big spiders. Everyone's afraid of spiders, right? No, I'm talking about humans, baby. Humans are the worst. And also the best. Now, if you think back to any horror game, any horror story, really, you've got your monster stories, you've got your slasher flicks, but in a lot of the horror stuff, the whole story begins with a person. Resident Evil, scientists trying to beat death. Biological weapons. Humans, man. Zombie stories, the worst thing to look out for are the people who are still alive, because they will shoot you. Zombies, they're cannon fodder. You can slaughter them. Variants, just learn the trick to beat them. Humans, they got guns, and they're not afraid to use them. In a lot of cases, too, humans are, Evil Within, another good example. Ruvik and all them doctors and scientists working on mental stuff and fiddling with people's brains. Humans. If you want to take a step out of video games, look at people like Negan from the Walking Dead series. Horrible example of a human being. Great example of a horror monster. Because the biggest monster in real life is not the one lurking under your bed, but the one that you look across the street, the one that you see in the hallways. The horror monster that you must most fear is man. Because man can do the worst damage to you, because he knows exactly how to hurt you. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this list. Obviously, this is not a comprehensive list. This is just my 5 favorite. Now, I have so much more to say about other monsters in the games. I could talk about... Jason actually kind of falls into the whole hulking behemoth fella. You can talk about any type of different monster. I love monsters. What are your favorite types of monsters? I would love to hear about them down in the comments below if you'd like to leave a comment down there. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you liked it, and if you did, please go and poke the like button for me. If you'd like to, you can comment down below. Like I said, favorite horror monsters, I'd love to hear about them. And I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can, when I can, if I can. I'm pretty good about it right now. But yeah, tune in next time when we discuss more horror topics for the month of Spooktober. And until then, hey.